The free speech movement, the progressives, the tolerant, this whole movement is devouring itself. This whole movement is exposing itself as standing for anything but freedom of speech. And what's the best method to shut down opposing viewpoints? It's easy. You label the people Nazis. You label the people white supremacists. You name call. You identify them in certain crude ways, and you disqualify them from ever being heard. And then you say, well, you don't have a right to speak on a campus like ours, referring to Berkeley. So, according to Teen Vogue, individuals associated with the alt-right and white supremacist groups, including Milo Yiannopoulos, were planning a free speech week for the last week of September at University of California, Berkeley, with a conservative student group on campus. Well, who were some of the speakers who were invited to be part of that? Who were some of the white supremacist speakers that were going to be part of that? How about Steve Bannon, who ran the Trump campaign? Oh, yeah, he's been labeled a white supremacist and Nazi, but that's just false speech against the man. Steve Bannon. How about Ann Coulter, New York Times bestselling author of a dozen books, frequently on all the major TV networks? You may not like what she has to say, but she's not a Nazi, and she's not a white supremacist. But hey, why quibble here when you can demonize a whole group and disqualify them and then get everybody provoked with all kinds of anger? Now, according to the Patriot group, the conservative group at Berkeley that was trying to set things up, Berkeley stonewalled them. According to them, Berkeley stonewalled them. There's even a quote. Check this out. Check this out. From Berkeley itself. This is Assistant Vice Chancellor Dan Mogilov. He said this: "It feels like the most expensive photo op in the university's history." In other words, the amount of money we're going to have to spend on security and all this for a photo op. So when conservatives come to give talks about freedoms of speech and things like that, that is now a photo op? What another way just to demean the people involved. So let's hear from one of the people involved, Berkeley Patriot member Ashton Whitty. She's on KTVU Channel 2 this past Sunday, September 24th. Listen to what she had to say.
There have been plans for this for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's very important to a lot of the students here. There are about 3,000 BCR members on the mailing list, but only 20 come to the club meetings. That just shows you how scared people are to come out as Republican on this campus.
Listen, I remember Bruce/Caitlyn Jenner saying that he gets more flack at Hollywood for being a conservative or being a Republican than for coming out as a woman. But of course, that's the atmosphere. Look, all the hubbub on the campus and the security, what police had to do just for Ben Shapiro to come and give a talk. But people are being inflamed. You're a Nazi. Trump is a Nazi. You're a white supremacist who want to destroy black America and put people back in slavery. You're fascist. You need to be shut down. This is demonizing people. This is provoking anger, hatred. This is absolutely destructive. So there's one guy, conservative. I don't know that I agree with his stances or who he is, but he weighs in. And I want you to see some of the atmosphere, some of what's going on at Berkeley.
They do not believe in any type of conservative thought or ideology. These people are like gangsters. This is their turf. People like me are not allowed here.
We said that you are not allowed to speak on this campus. You're not allowed to bring fascism and to organize on this campus.
Refuse fascism says no. No to all this. No to allowing them on the campuses. No to allowing them in the White House. And the people ourselves need to drive them off of this campus.
Nazi scum! Off of our streets! Nazi scum! Off of our streets! Nazi scum!
These are university students. They are referring to conservatives as Nazi scum. They are saying you do not have a right to be on our campus. Listen, Milo Yiannopoulos, he's a provocateur. He's an openly gay man, but he is not a white supremacist Nazi either. This is what we're up against. Hey, it's no surprise, because I've seen the same techniques work so well from gay activists for many years. They laid it out in the 1980s and said anyone who differs with us, anyone ultimately who says that kids should have a mom and a dad or a man and a man shouldn't be together in, quote, marriage, then we're going to label them KKK Nazis and push the button and everyone starts to react. Friends, that's groupthink there. Those are people that are under an emotional spell more than dealing with reality. We need to break the spell with truth. We need to expose it for what it is. We need to sit and reason together. When people won't reason, then let's show we're willing to reason. We're willing to discuss. We're willing to show that we don't want a fascist dictatorship, right-wing radical or left-wing radical extremist, whatever it is. We don't want that. We want the best for America. We want justice and liberty and what's best for our country. Let's expose the hatred. Let's expose the intolerance, because it's coming from the so-called side of tolerance.